The origin of the uniform ideology goes back to 2000 years ago in England. They started to use uniform for schools, and 100 years later, in the 20th century, it started to be mandatory not only there, but in almost every school in the world. Okay, so what's a uniform about? Uniform are for identify a subject of being part of an organization, or in this case a school. So in this speech we're going to focus on the question, um, are the uniforms still necessary in the 21st century? Well, why would they be considered necessary at first? Well, many people considering that because they were like a preparation for your military service. Um, well, that was back in the day, but now, are they still necessary? First of all, let's analyze the points in favor and the points against this ideology of uniforms being necessary. Well, the first point in favor is that wearing uniform brings us equality. Equality? Why? Well, wearing uniform makes the students wear the same. So that removes the bias that could be generated because of the social class that could be defined by the way of dressing of each one. Also, the wearing of uniform makes that friendships made on the college or on the school overlook the background or the social context. Um, Another reason is that wearing uniform indirectly brings discipline. First of all, because schools um, control the way you're dressing because, well, they made mandatory the wear of uniform. So controlling the way you dress means they control um, one part of you. That means they could only not control the way you dress, but also the way you act and, well, the way you like follow everything. And that brings discipline to the students. Then it also brings sense of belonging. Wearing uniform creates an identity to of being part of something, of a group, of a community, in this case of a school. It also defines a status. For example, when you wear a uniform of a very prestigious school like Harvard, it gives you an status not only of having a good economical position because of the cost of this school, but also of being very intelligent and, well, then it is very practical to wear uniform. Wearing uniform means wear the same thing every day. So we don't have to worry about what we're going to do, what we are going to wear like in all the week. Plus uniform are made to last because of the same thing that you will wear it every day. Then after analyzing the points in favor Let's analyze the points against. First of all, in a lot of schools, uniforms are very, very expensive, especially in prestige schools, like I said before, where a uniform um, is mandatory and, well, expensive. For example, in Harvard, where most of the people who go there have money, um, and, well, they made the students to buy this expensive uniform. Then it is um, a waste of time and energy to the teachers or the supervisors, because you waste a lot of time and energy checking that every student in school brings the complete uniform following the dress code. So it makes you waste time, not only of your life, but of your classes. Um, Wearing uniform also means that your individuality is being stifled. Well, first of all, what is individuality? Individuality is that one subject have a particular characteristic or quality that distinguish him from every other person. Like, for example, um, the way of dressing. In this case, um, the fact that you don't have the opportunity to choose how you dress means that your freedom of expression is being oppressed. So, like I said before, it stifles your individuality. Last, it is the uniforms are very old fashioned and uncomfortable. Old fashioned because, well, if we consider the time that uniforms in school were used and that they haven't changed a lot, well, those has been a lot of years, like 200 years. So, after analyzing the points in favor and points against wearing uniform, we could conclude that wearing uniform brings its advantages, but mm, they're not very um, good for, like, wearing, or they are not very necessary, really, mm, because wearing uniform or not wearing uniform will not change a lot of things in your learning process and all of that, which is like the main point of going to the school to learn. So we could say that wearing a uniform nowadays it's not necessary. Thank you.